Hi my fellow Scriabinoids, my name is Elina Akselrud and I would like to welcome you to the Scriabin Sonatas lesson series. Today we are covering Sonata number 5. This is a demo version of the full course, and of course the full course is available for purchase. The link is in the description, and if you're getting it during the first week, there is already a built-in discount for you. I won't be providing any list of references since this is not really a scientific work, but rather I'm sharing my own perspective, tips, and what I myself use for the performance. There are lots of my own impressions, my associations, and my explanations of certain interpretational decisions that will hopefully help you in your exploration of Scriabin's works. The annotated PDF with the score is provided upon purchase, so you are going to see everything or nearly everything I'm mentioning during the lesson written by me in the score, as well as all the translations of Scriabin's annotations if they're not the typical musical annotations. And the playlist with my tutorials and demo versions of my courses is available if you click on the link right here, as well as below in the description. And also make sure to check out my album released in 2025 with all of the 10 piano sonatas by Alexander Scriabin. So let's talk about the sonata number 5, opus 53. So this is the first sonata that actually does not have the tonal ending, because in number 4 we still had a very clear ending in F sharp major, but in this sonata there is something else. It just flies away and it does not really have the tonality, the tonic, as the statement at the end. This is the last sonata, the second one out of 2 from the middle period of Scriabin's legacy. The first one was number 4, opus 30. I have a spoiler for you. In this sonata there is the first occurrence ever of the mystic chord in the sonatas, but we're going to talk about that later during the course. This is a one movement piece, so Scriabin actually merges the form here, and he is not writing multiple movement sonatas anymore. So he finished that business with the sonata number 4 that has 2 movements. Now, starting from the sonata number 5 and going through the very last one, number 10, we will only have single movement works. He's already experimenting with the expression through musical gestures, and if you have no idea what I'm talking about, please check out my YouTube video about Scriabin's use of motifs, gestures, and his musical symbolic language that he's mostly using in his later works. But we already have quite a thorough development of these gestures in the 5th sonata. So we of course have the opening trill. And for Scriabin, trills pretty much in most of the cases mean light, the motif of light. However, here I'm quite convinced that it means completely something different, because the trill that represents light is in higher registers. And here we have a lower register, sounds like this. Yeah, so probably that is something coming from the underground rather than the light shimmering somewhere high up in the distance. That's how I feel it, and it really helps me create the character. So let's look at how this can or should be played, or should not be played rather. There are several ways to start this trill. First of all, the general dynamic is piano, but we have sforzando. So I really consider this being a sforzando in piano rather than just something very loud. Keep that in mind. And I use a soft pedal as written, including for the sforzando. You can start, of course, with the lower note, but also think of starting with both. So the trill would go like this. So you actually start by playing the second together, not by playing just one note. And I think the effect is really unique if you do that. As opposed to, although both are fine, I don't know if there could be an option to start with the F sharp, with the upper note. Let's try. the lower note, or both? I like both. It gives it a special kind of a buzz. But of course, feel free to experiment. It's very important that you practice the left hand separately, really, really thoroughly, because it has to be very, very even. So let's do that. And I use 3 and 1 here. But of course, for the turnaround, I use 5, 2, and 1. And then 5, and back to 1, 3, and so on. So let's practice a little bit slower. And now together with the right hand. And when you play these figurations, by the way, the motif of flight, again, check out the video about the 7 motifs, gestures in Scriabin that I have made on YouTube, because I'm not going to go into the motifs right now and explain everything. Make sure that you practice this part as well, slowly, releasing each single finger. So this part does not become something like this, because I think that's not the point. If you can really play each note separately under control with very active fingertips and then the immediate relaxation, it will sound very crispy. And make sure that you really feel 2 and 3, these 2 notes, so it does not sound squished together. Yeah. Make sure that they're very, very clear. So once again, just the run, and I'm not gonna use much pedal on purpose, so you can really hear how I suggest to practice this. And here you can do a few versions of the fingering, and I've done really quite a lot. One can of course do directly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But there is such a risk that your 5th finger might not be very faithful to you at this moment. It's not the most comfortable ending, and it sort of wants to go on the side and lay down, and I don't like that. So one option is to play 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just with the 3rd finger, or with the left hand. And I like that much, much more. So once again, I'm going to demonstrate this intro as it should be, with pedal and in tempo. And off. Now we have an empty measure with the fermata, so make sure to listen to that, but without any pedal. So, con luminosità, with luminosity, fortissimo. And that's the apotheosis, pretty much. We're almost in the coda of the sonata. We have imperioso. In here, we have a huge resonating bass chord. And of course, we have... A lot of people mess it up here. So you need 2 attacks, 1, 2, 4, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 4. And be there in advance, and then grab that from the keyboard both times. You may want to turn your hand like this slightly, so you don't end up playing some F sharp when you need the G here. And this is a bit easier. Here is crucial to not end up playing 2 notes with 1 finger. Let's try together. Right hand for this chord as written. Change the pedal. Now, you have tenuto, tenuto. This is not very difficult. What's difficult, and what a lot of people do not play properly, is this. You have to really practice your left hand separating every attack of every finger from each other, because what I hear very often is something like something very unclear, very much stuck together, and we do not want that, because that's not what Scriabin has written. He has written this. But in order to play it like that, you have to really attack and relax and make every single finger work. Don't rely on your wrist here. No way it's gonna work, because your wrist is not playing. Your wrist is guiding your fingers. Your fingers are the ones doing the work in order to play the notes. Seriously, practice this very slowly, like this, without any finger trying to sort of delegate its job. Until every finger knows what it is doing, please do not move on from this place. Your hand has to stand on each finger when it's time for that finger to play. And then the next one, I'm gonna go and jump into the 4/30. Same thing. Then faster you're gonna have it. It's not very comfortable. Here with the fourth finger is super uncomfortable, but it's possible. If you think, fourth finger, work triple. Now. And then let's practice with both hands. I'm making the left hand now extra loud, annoying, and percussive, but that's on purpose, because it's very easy to think, oh, I'm playing a slur, and then to squish everything together, you will not hear any separate note. You will just hear a mess. We do not want that. Again, I split that grace note into two, because I cannot do that. And then we're in the coda, so you have the chords here, you don't have the passage. I will go now in a faster tempo. Up the last chord of 4/32 with my right hand, so my left hand has enough time to reach the bass and seamlessly continue. I don't want to take a lot of extra time, so I help myself here. Now, so that was the lesson on Scriabin Sonata number 5. I hope that it was helpful. The full version of the lesson is available, and the link is, of course, in the description. If you're getting this during the first week after the release of this video, there is, of course, a built-in discount for you already in the price of the course. In case you find my instruction beneficial and interesting and you would like to apply to take lessons with me, please contact me through my website. Again, the link is in the description. You can find all the information there. Don't forget to check out the other courses as well as my album with the release of the all 10 piano sonatas by Alexander Scriabin. Make sure to hit like if this video was helpful in any way, and subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next one. Bye.